Charlie Daniels, a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame who sang "The Devil Went Down to Georgia," recorded with Bob Dylan, and was a vocal supporter of U.S. veterans, died Monday morning after suffering a hemorrhagic stroke. He was 83. By the time the Charlie Daniels Band topped the charts with "Devil" in 1979, the instrumentalist, singer and songwriter had long established a remarkable multifaceted career in Nashville. As a session musician, he played on 3 of Bob Dylan's albums, including the revolutionary Nashville Skyline, as well as recordings for Ringo Starr and Leonard Cohen. He was a fixture of the touring circuit for the next 40 years, became a tireless advocate for servicemen and women, and entered the information age as one of country music's most outspoken conservative voices. His music fused the immediacy of Southern rock with the classic country storytelling that he heard as a child, Kyle Young, CEO of the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, said Monday. He brought new audiences to country music, pointing people to the sources even as he explored the edges. He is survived by his wife, Hazel, son, Charles William Daniels, and the Lion Owling and Evan Tubb, whom Daniels considered his grandchildren. Born October 28, 1936, in Wilmington, North Carolina, Charles Edward Daniels grew up inspired by church music and local bluegrass bands. He listened to Nashville's WSM and WLAC, which streamed country and R&B music from all the way from Music City to Daniels' radio speaker in North Carolina. Daniels merged those sounds in the mid-1950s to create rock band The Jaguars, which most notably recorded instrumental single "Jaguar" in Fort Worth, Texas, for national distribution via Epic Records. In Texas, he'd connect with producer Bob Johnston, who, years later, Daniels would credit with helping him find his way as a songwriter and sought-after session player in Nashville. In 1964, Daniels and Johnston co-wrote "It Hurts Me," a single cut by Elvis Presley that proved the first victory in decades of songwriting success to come. Elvis recorded it, and it was by far the biggest thing that had ever happened to me in my life, Daniels once said. 3 years passed before Daniels and his distinct country rock influence would pull into Music City. Living in Newport, Kentucky, with his wife, Hazel, and 2-year-old son, Charles William Daniels, the seasoned stage player headed south with ideas of substituting beer joint stages for session work in Nashville. And Daniels rolled into Nashville, literally, as he told the Tennessean in 2014, beginning a 5-decade stay in Middle Tennessee. "I came to Nashville in 1967 with the clutch out of my car and a $20 bill," Daniels told the Tennessean in 2014. "I didn't fit the Nashville type very well. I'd come out of 12 years of playing bang slang, balls-to-the-wall music in clubs, and I played too loud and too bluesy." With Johnston's help, Daniels carved his name in the late 1960s and early 70s as a marquee Nashville player, working with the likes of Starr, Cohen, and, most notably, Bob Dylan. In 1969, Johnston called Daniels to pinch hit for an absent guitarist during a Dylan session at Columbia's historic Studio A. After the session, Daniels heard 9 words from Dylan that would change his life. "I don't want another guitar player," Daniels, in a 2019 interview with the Tennessean, recalled hearing. He recited each syllable delivered with an excitement untouched by 5 decades. "I want him." He'd finish the Dylan sessions, what would be Nashville Skyline, an album considered one of the most influential out of Music City in the late 1960s, and returned for 2 more albums with the freewheelin' Midwesterner, Self-Portrait and New Morning. "Damn it, it was just fun," Daniels said in 2019. "It was a very pleasant experience." The life of a session sideman wouldn't stick, though. He'd cut a self-titled debut album in 1970, forming the Charlie Daniels Band, or CDB, as it was known for decades at concert theaters, state fairs and racetracks. In 1971, a bearded embodiment of fast fiddle and Southern life, Daniels cut a handful of solo efforts in the early 1970s, none more notable than Fire on the Mountain, the platinum-selling release that spilled into mainstream country and Southern rock success. Daniels would proceed to sell more than 13.5 million records per the Riot, logging 9 gold, platinum, or multi-platinum releases. On Fire, Daniels released singles Long-Haired Country Boy and The South's Gonna Do It Again, the latter a swinging concoction of blues, country and rock that would be a rallying cry for Daniels' Southern ethos.
Please subscribe my channel JHTV and click on bell icon for latest news. Thank you.